everyone, welcome back to David's Closet. On this channel we talk about handbags, accessories, small leather goods, all of those fun things from the male point of view and on a budget. And just like the last handful of videos, I don't know what my hair is doing, so I bought these stocking caps on sale. So I'm going to wear them to hide my hair and look cool. Ooh, you can really see my ears there. Let's leave it like that. Today's video is a collab with one of my dear friends here on YouTube and in real life, Julie from Agent Bag Review. She is on Instagram and she is on YouTube. Those will be linked below. Julie, if you don't know her, I've done a few videos with her. I've actually met her in person as well. We are basically the same human, same interests basically, same career field, all of those things. And she has been very, very helpful to me recently. Not just obviously, you know, loving to talk about handbags and things like that, but she is also a real estate agent with the same brokerage that I am at. And if you guys know, I haven't been doing real estate that long, and I'm part of a team and they're super helpful, but sometimes it's nice to bounce an idea off of someone who isn't quite as involved with, you know, my operation. So Julie is really, really amazing. She has bounced some amazing ideas and actually helped keep my deal on track with some recommendations. So I just adore her. So I came up with the tag, and it's, you know, bags I can toss around and bags that I baby. And I decided to go ahead and just kind of set a few parameters. So we're doing 3 from each. So 3 bags that you can kind of toss around, but then there's always those bags that you're like, I'm a little bit more careful with these, a little more particular. So we are going to do that. So before you do anything, please subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, we talk about handbags, accessories, lifestyle. I do some cooking vlogs, all of those fun things from my point of view and on a budget. And then also go subscribe to Julie's channel if you don't already. Again, she'll be linked below. First bag that I'm going to call out here, it's actually, and I'm kind of cheating on my own tag, but I'm going to do 2 bags because they're both very similar material and I think you guys will understand. So one is my Coach Ellis shoulder bag. It also comes with a crossbody strap and a little pouch to put up, kind of like the Prada re-edition accessories thing. This bag, and then of course you guys all know I have the small Longchamp Le Pliage top handle in the purple color. These bags, obviously just because of the material, they are absolutely 100% toss around bags. I don't even think twice when I'm carrying these bags around. I'll throw them in the back seat. You know, if I have to set them on a floor, there's not a concern in the world. And obviously the material is number one. It's not a luxurious material. It's not a delicate material, and it's easily cleaned. And then there's not a lot to these bags that can really get messed up. This one has one little metal, you know, plate here. Again, not concerned about it. If it gets scratched, I'm not going to cry. And then obviously the Le Pliage just has the little metal button and the little zipper pull. Again, if there's anything that ever happens with these, I'm not going to be super upset. And then this bag in particular, I also love because it's so floppy. I don't have an organizer for it, so when I carry it, it's just a floppy mess. And I love my bags to be a little more structured and organized, but this is one bag, when I'm feeling chaotic, this is the bag I want. I don't know why. I just throw everything in here and it is a jumbled mess. And for a couple of days, I'm living my best life, and then out of nowhere, I hate it because I can't find anything. But absolutely love this bag. It's just super carefree. They wear well. I mean, I've used this bag a lot, and there is no wear on this bag. You know, I don't see any really major signs of use. I mean, even the metal zipper pull is pretty much flawless still. So definitely, this is a toss around. Number 2 may actually be a shock to some of you. But I was thinking, you know, as I was looking at my bags, kind of preparing this video, the next one you're going to see is the first one that came to mind. That's why I'm doing it last. But I looked at this bag on my shelf and I said, you know, that is a toss around bag. This is a bag that, I mean, again, this one, as you're going to see, is more expensive. So yes, I would be not as thrilled if something were to happen to it, but it already has a lot of use and wear. And that is my Louis Vuitton Terrain MM. And I was actually talking to the group here on YouTube, and Fuchsia Floyd, Eva from Fuchsia Floyd, has this in the PM size, and I really wish I had it in the PM size. If I can ever find it for a really good deal, I'd probably scoop it up and maybe try to sell this one someday. But this bag is beautiful. You know, obviously it's Louis Vuitton, but it's not in the best of condition. This is kind of one of my lowest condition purchases I've made on Fashion File. The corners have a little bit of sticky to them, and just there's some spots of the bag that are a little sticky. You can tell it's worn. Obviously the vachetta does have some uneven patina. There's some scuffage on the bag. And inside there are a few stains on the lining. Of course, that does not bother me. I don't care about the lining. Don't care about any of it. No one's going to see it. As long as it's not torn, I don't care. So, do love this bag though. Since it already has a lot of patina, I'm not as concerned about it getting wet. I don't actively like wear it in the rain for fun, but if I get stuck in a rainstorm, I'm not concerned. I did buy an organizer for it just to give it a little bit of support because, I mean, it is not a super supported bag, and I do carry a lot in this bag, so, but definitely love it, but again, not concerned. Now, it's in decent shape. Like, my little edges aren't super curled. The patina's not bad. There's definitely some scuffs and scratches and minor gouges in the handle. But again, this is a bag that I'm just going to toss everything in here and I'm going to carry it. And if it gets scratched, you know, if it gets brushed up against something, I'm not going to be devastated. If I have to set it down somewhere, I'm not going to be devastated. I'm not going to overthink it. This is a bag that I bought to use, and I'm going to use it. Now, traditionally, my monogram bags are bags that I would consider to be a little more delicate. But again, this one is just the exception because, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but, you know, there's definitely some scratches. You can kind of feel, I mean, that's an indent right there. I don't know if it'll photograph, but that's a chunk out of the leather. So this bag's already seen it, so I'm going to continue to let it see more, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to use it. The last one in this category is the bag that I thought about when I started this tag, and I kind of thought of this tag. And that is my black my black Prada satchel. I forget the name of this bag. I do believe, based off the dust bag that came with it, that it was an outlet bag at one point for Prada, or it was at least sold at the outlet. But that does not bother me. I've said it before in my outlet video. If the bag is pretty and I can justify the price, I don't care if it's outlet or boutique, because ultimately this is a Prada bag. If it is an outlet bag, that's fine, because it's still an authentic Prada bag. And I paid about $550. I know it was under $600. It was in the fives. I don't remember the exact amount. And I do use Speedy 30 organizers from Amazon for these bags. And I like them in a lighter color because you can see inside the bag a little bit easier. This obviously, just like my blue one, came with the strap, the clochette. I usually just carry it top handle, and most of the time I just leave it unzipped. But I love this bag because obviously it's already well worn. Whoever owned it wore it well and loved it. And there is corner wear on the bag, so there's nothing I can do that's going to hurt this bag anymore. And with those organizers in there, as you can kind of see, it doesn't fit perfectly because, as I've mentioned in other videos comparing this bag, unlike the Speedy, it's not as wide up top, so it does taper in, but the organizers are soft enough where they can taper in on their own and they don't indent the bag, but they do give these bags a lot of support. If you watch the unboxing when I bought this one, which I'll try to link below, this bag was very slouchy. This bag had no support. The middle section had been well worn. Whoever owned this bag probably used it every day for a very long time. So this organizer gave it new life. It gives it a little bit more structure, but then it's still slouchy and fun. And I just absolutely love this bag. The handles also, and my blue one, unfortunately, it's doing the same thing. The glazing is cracking. It's my biggest complaint with these bags. But again, for $500 for a Prada bag, that's this beautiful, like, aged looking leather. And it's aged looking because it's aged and someone has worn it. I just love it. It has a lot of character. I get to continue to add character to it. Just the other day I was carrying this and I did brush it up against like a concrete wall in a parking garage. And I mean, it really didn't do anything. But again, I wasn't concerned because this bag is just a bag that I can just toss around. You know, toss it in the back seat. It's going to be fine. Nothing is going to harm this lovely bag. So now we're going to talk about some bags that I tend to baby more than others. And I'm not actually going to pull all of these out because a lot of them are behind me. One of them is not. But the first one that I baby are my Chanel Grand Shopping Totes, which are right behind my shoulders on each side. I have the navy blue with silver, and I have the black with silver, and they're both caviar leather, and they're the older models. It's a discontinued bag, but they're dated 2008 and 2009, so they're the older style. They're a little bit heavier, and there's just a few minor differences between the most recent or the last version of the bag, which I love because I feel like the quality is a little better on the older bags. And that goes for a lot of brands, especially Chanel, is my understanding. I love those bags. Now, because mine are older, you know, I obviously worry about certain things, you know, frayed stitches, things like that. So I try to be cautious with them. Of course, my black one has a little bit more wear than my blue one, which is funny because the black one costs a hair bit more. But it does have some corner rubs on a couple of the corners. But I still try to be very careful with it because, first off, those bags were incredibly expensive, $2,800 I think, and $2,600. So I try to be cautious with it, or with both of them. My blue one is in much better condition, so that one I'm even more careful with. But those are bags that I don't carry if I'm going to be out in bad weather, if I'm going somewhere that's going to be crowded, somewhere where I don't think I'll have a spot to set it, because those bags do not go on the floor. Those bags are very, very cautious. Those are bags, when I add them to my rotation, I tend to not carry them for a full week at a time because I want them to last forever and I don't want anything to happen to them. So if I carry them, it's going to be like 2 or 3 days, and then I swap into a bag that I don't care as much about, like my Prada bag. I don't want to say I don't care, but you know what I mean. So those are definitely bags that I'm very careful with just because they're so special and they're so expensive. Another one is actually my Givenchy Antigona, which currently has my lovely bandeau that I purchased from Yota of Yota Style. I absolutely love that bag, and I want it in a couple of different colors. I want a dark gray one, and I really want the cognac color one. The cognac one I want to be in pristine condition like my black one was and is. Now, I would love to get a gray one that's a little bit more worn. I actually have one on Fashion File in my favorites right now. It's just under $1,000, which for those bags is a really good deal because brand new, they're $2,400 roughly. Of course, those are bags that I will always buy pre-loved because you save $1,000. That was $1,000 off, and that bag was in brand new condition. But I'm very careful with it because since they are so structured, even though they're a black hole on the inside, they're so structured, it's really easy to rub it up against something and, you know, just bump the corner into a wall, or when you're putting it in the backseat of your car, rubbing it on the car. So I try to be very, very careful with that because I love that bag so much. That is one of my favorite bags. I just love the silhouette. I think it's gorgeous. And then, of course, you have to be careful when getting in and out of the bag because the handles are so stiff. I don't want to crack the glazing or, you know, impede or impact the stitching by stretching the handles out to get into it. So I'm always very careful. That is also a bag I tend to carry unzipped because zipping it through the handles can be kind of a hassle, again, because I'm so careful with it. But that's another bag that I'm super careful with, and that's why. The last bag that I am super careful with and always baby is my Goyard Artois PM, and you guys have seen this 100 times. I picked the Artois because I liked the little bit more structure, and then the size of this is more comparable to my Vuitton totes or a hair bit smaller than like an Neverfull, whereas I feel like the St. Louis is a little bit bigger and has no structure, and then also doesn't have some of these safety aspects. Like the leather here is supposed to protect the corners of the bag, so if you were to rub it up against something, yes, you could cause damage to the leather and rub the leather, but the odds of you basically burning a hole through this bag, which does happen at the St. Louis a lot, I hear, that will protect you. But I am careful with this bag for so many reasons. First is the price point, and I've said that about a lot of these, but it's true, these things are not cheap. This, with sales tax and everything, was, I believe, $2,600. And this is something that I refuse to buy pre-loved because it's impossible to get them under retail pre-loved. I've seen them listed in honestly horrible condition on Fashion File with cracking on the handles, scuffs. Some of them even have like holes in them like the St. Louis do, and they are over retail. And it's just because it's so hard to get your hands on them. A lot of people, that's the only way to buy it, so they can justify the price. But since I won't do that, it would have to be a pretty unique color or bag to make that happen. You know, I have to go somewhere that has a Goyard because this is a bag that I would prefer to buy new just because of the price. Now, if I could save $1,000 and buy this used, I totally would. But that's one of the reasons. It's hard to get. It's expensive. It's very special to me because me and my husband, we went to the store together to buy this, and this is one of the very few bags that I've actually bought directly from a boutique in person, and it's just super special. And then, of course, the color. It's kind of a lighter, you know, colorway, so I don't want any color transfer, especially on the handles. And then I have seen a lot of them on Fashion File for sale. The glazing on these tends to crack or peel sometimes on a lot of the ones that are listed for sale, and it's probably the way people store them or how they carry them. I store mine just like this with the handles up. Now I know when we get it from the stores, this will be unzipped and the handles are folded inside and then wrapped in plastic, and that's how they come from the boutique. So of course that bending can cause cracking eventually, so maybe if you're storing it that way. And then the St. Louis just being a floppier bag anyway, you don't really have a choice but to fold those handles because the bag is not going to support itself like this. But those are kind of the reasons I'm very careful with this. And then of course the interior is a light canvas color, and I don't care about interiors. I said that earlier. But again, I do have an organizer in there for structure and protection, but you know, I try to take really good care of this bag because you know, like I said, it's just a bag it's very special, it's pricey, and it's not easily replaced. You know, heaven forbid something were to happen to one of my Speedies or something, I could replace that fairly inexpensively and fairly easily. But this, the nearest Goyard I have is Chicago. I would have to fly to Chicago and hope that they have it in stock in order to buy it, which makes, with tax, let's say a $2,600 bag, plane tickets, hotels, you're talking an extra, what, $1,000, $1,500 minimum. This is now a very expensive bag, so very, very careful with that. I hope that this video was interesting. If you are new here, like I said earlier, if you're coming from Julie's channel or you just clicked on me, please hit the subscribe button below. I'm working really hard to grow my channel. I didn't make it to 1,000 like I wanted to by Christmas, but I do want to keep working towards that goal. That would be a huge milestone for me, so if you could please do that, I'd appreciate it. Watch my other videos, hit the bell notification, and then also if you're new here or you're here and you don't watch Julie from Agent Bag Review, please click her video below, subscribe to her channel, hit her bell notification, watch a bunch of her videos. She has a lot of really, really amazing content. She focuses primarily on the contemporary brands like Marc Jacobs, and she has a lot of really cool Coach bags. So I think she's a great, great creator, and you need to go watch her too. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Also, I real quickly wanted to say, if you want to participate in this tag, please, please, please go ahead and make the video. I just ask that you tag Julie and myself, so Agent Bag Review and David's Closet, in your description so we can be notified, so we can go find it and watch it. And then, you know, I'm going to tag a few people below, see if they want to participate in this as well. But yes, please do. Thank you so much, guys.